Hi, my name is Niels Verburg. I'm the owner winemaker of Luddite Wines. The Luddites were the band of rebels in the Industrial Revolution, and they were worried they were going to lose their jobs to machines. So they went around, they smashed the machines, they burnt the factories down. And when I heard the story, I said, well, that's exactly what I feel about wine. I'd worked in some really big wineries, and there's so much use of machinery, technology that for me doesn't belong with a natural product. So for us, that reflection of what the Luddites were about is true to our wine style as well, doing things the old-fashioned way in the cellar to get the grape from the vineyard into the bottle with as minimum fuss as possible. Penny and I started Luddite. She planted the vineyards, having started with bare land and started from scratch. It's a leap of faith. You know, when you get to the point where there's no safety net, you've got to make it work. We set out to make one wine, which was the Luddite Shiraz, and we built up a lovely name with that. And then next thing, before we realized, you got 4 wines in the portfolio. But we have a lovely following worldwide for our wine, and that is the serious reward. And then with Alice coming on board and handing over the baton, I mean, that is priceless.
My dad and I have been in the cellar together. He's kind of stepping back, so I'm doing more of the heavy lifting, but we're still a nice team, and my mom's the vineyard side, the viticulturist.
I don't think we've had a serious fight yet in 8 years. There's certainly a bit of disagreement on certain things, but it's for a common goal. We're trying to get the best wine in the bottle that we can, and I think we can do that together. And as I say, hand over the baton. That's really, really exciting. We're 8 kilometers in from the sea, and as you probably can see, there's a little breeze blowing that's coming off the sea. That gives us longer ripening, cooler temperatures, better natural acidity, which is very important to us. There's an underlying saltiness in the soils. You can pick it up in the Chenins as well, just on the finish, and that is something quite different to any other part of South Africa. I think one of the most fascinating things about farming in South Africa is there's a huge influence of the fynbos, the natural vegetation, uniquely only found in the tip of Africa. Those oils and perfumes, they get stuck onto the wax of the berry. They play a role in what makes South African wine unique. So this is the range that we have. We focus on Shiraz and Chenin, 100% our own fruit from our farm. And I think the unique thing, which is really, really nice, is that we hand number every bottle. Penny basically picks the grapes, gets it down to the final product, and she's the last person to touch the bottle by hand numbering it before it goes out to market. So it's a fantastic process to be there from the beginning and be the last person to touch it. And I think that really ties in beautifully with our whole Luddite ethos. And then the Saboteur range, it's a different wine style, more bistro, more easy drinking. The nice thing about the Crown Cap is essentially very little impact on the environment, 100% recyclable. No trees were harmed in the making of these Crown Caps. I think a lot of Americans, if they are wine people, know about Stellenbosch and maybe Constantia, but all the smaller wine regions, the more cutting-edge wine regions, they are now going to get exposed to those, and I think that's really, really exciting.